Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. On Instagram and here on YouTube, I asked you guys to ask me any questions that you had for me based on my pregnancy experience and everything that's to do with motherhood basically. And you guys came through the questions. I've got a list of them all here. So I'm going to be answering these questions in no order whatsoever. These are just basically how I wrote them down. So I'm going to be basically doing that today. So if you are interested in learning about motherhood, if you are going through the same thing, then this video is for you. So let's get right into the first question. So the first question that I'm going to answer is, how was your first trimester? And I'm not going to lie to you guys, the thought of thinking about my first trimester actually makes me quite sick. And the first trimester for me was the worst out of the three. I wasn't throwing up, but I felt sick. If I'm being honest, I feel like I would have rather thrown up, because you know when you throw up you feel a little bit better afterwards. I don't know if anyone else does, but I do. Like, I tend to feel better after I throw up. But because I wasn't throwing up, I was just carrying this feeling of sickness day after day after day until I reached my second trimester. The stuff that was making me feel sick was like my favorite stuff. I think the most heartbreaking thing for me was coffee. I absolutely love coffee. If you guys know me, I drink coffee all the time. The thought of it made me sick, the smell of it made me sick, so that was really such a rough time. So because I wasn't really getting caffeine, that made me extremely tired, and being pregnant basically comes with tiredness and fatigue anyway. And because I wasn't having caffeine, you guys, I was so tired. And during this time I was also working, and it would hit me so bad in the morning, you guys. I would definitely say the first trimester is not for the weak. I did not enjoy it. The thought of it actually makes me not want to get pregnant again, I'm not gonna lie. But you know, that's just my experience. Another person asked, did you feel lazy to film content, and how did you overcome that? And if I'm being completely honest with you guys, yes, the laziness hit me like a ton of bricks. And because I wasn't having any caffeine or anything that could give me energy, the last thing on my mind was to pick up my camera and say, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It was pretty hard, I'm not going to lie to you guys. So to answer your question, I didn't really overcome it, I just kind of forced myself. And that's kind of how I handle things in life, if I'm being completely honest. I just kind of fake it till I make it. I was just like forcing myself, pushing myself, and that's kind of like how I filmed content. And this is actually the period that I started to do like a lot of TikToks. So what I would do is I would film a lot of videos in the day. Like, TikToks are really easy for me because they're just little snippets, so I can literally have one video and make it into like 3 TikToks, if that made sense. So I was able to just do those little videos quickly. But when it came to my long YouTube videos, yeah, sometimes it would take me the whole day because I would start to feel sick and I would take breaks. So if I was to give any kind of advice for any other fellow content creators who are pregnant or planning to get pregnant or anything, and you still want to manage like workload and filming, I would say take breaks, because the last thing you want to do is to film with like no energy and like it shows on camera, and then also like yourself, you're not gonna enjoy it. So I would say take breaks, because that's kind of what I did. And drink loads of water. That's something that I discovered in my second trimester, if I'm honest. When I started drinking loads of water, my energy levels started rising. So that's kind of what I can say. But second trimester and third trimester, things did get a lot easier for me in terms of like my energy levels. So this question is in a few parts, natural or C-section. So I actually did have a C-section myself. It wasn't a planned C-section, it was an emergency one. So I had like no option but to do a C-section. The C-section itself was fine, but the pain after and the recovery process, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I wish I pushed the baby out. C-section recovery for me was really tough. I was in so much pain, and then on top of the pain, you have to take like loads of medication. You need to take like blood thinners as well, which are little injections for like 10 days. It was a lot for me personally, but I had no choice. That's the way that I had to deliver. So yeah, I had a C-section. The part 2 to that question is, did you choose to breastfeed? If so, how are you finding it? Now, because I didn't do my research, I thought breastfeeding was going to be easy, simple, quick. Guys, it was far from that for me personally. I didn't do my research, so when it came to breastfeeding, there was so much stuff that I did wrong. If I had the knowledge that I had now, I would have definitely stuck to breastfeeding. My milk basically didn't come in for like 2 days, so within those 2 days, baby girl was basically relying on bottles. And then when it came time to basically breastfeed her and stuff like that, I found it quite hard because the pain meds had worn off. the C-section scars started to really hurt me. So when I would crouch down and stuff like that, I'd be in so much pain. And then she found it quite hard to latch as well, because obviously my posture was like completely off for her. Because I didn't know that sometimes your milk can take time to come in, ain't nobody told me nothing, I basically started to panic. I was like, what is wrong with my body? What is going on? I was panicking. So already I had quite like a negative start to it. So when it came time to actually breastfeeding her, she was already relying on the bottle, so she kind of found it hard to latch as well. So I just thought, you know what, fed is best, to be honest with you. If she's liking the bottle and she's enjoying that, then that's completely fine. But say if I was to have another baby, I would definitely try my best to breastfeed, knowing what I know now. So yeah. Another person asked, how was your skin during pregnancy and what did you do? The first trimester, second trimester, my skin was looking good. I was feeding myself, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I got the pregnancy glow. And then third trimester came along and humbled me nicely. I started to get pimples. I wouldn't say it was like an acne breakout, but I just got like random pimples. And then those pimples left along blemishes. And then I got hyperpigmentation, my neck, my forehead, my back, my underarms. Oh my gosh, guys, hyperpigmentation was so bad. I got so insecure because I was honestly looking patchy. But then I did create a skincare and body care routine, which managed to fix it because now everything is even. You guys can check that out in my previous video, because this one's gonna come out after that video. But to summarize it, I use brightening products, things like kojic acid and niacinamide, vitamin C. They really helped me to brighten and even out my skin. If it wasn't for that and I left it like that, I firmly believe that my skin wouldn't have got back to its normal complexion. I forgot to mention my stomach as well. This is something that I'm still dealing with now. My stomach is another area that got really dark, and that's because of the stretching. Yeah, that's something that I had to do. I had to create that routine to brighten my skin, and now I am happy with the results. Someone asked, how are you dealing with stretch marks? If I'm being completely honest with you guys, I'm not. I'm really struggling with stretch marks at the moment. I thought I'd be able to make a video for you guys showing you guys the before and after by now, because the hyperpigmentation has gotten so much better, but the stretch marks are stubborn. I'm considering laser because okay, I'm not considering laser, but I am. My stretch marks are dark. They're basically along the sides of my stomach, and they're like dark, if that makes sense. So I thought I could lighten them, but maybe it's just something that does take a long time to fade. I'm using a retinol body lotion from Advanced Clinicals, and then I'm also using bio oil. So that combination together hopefully should do something, because their vitamin C one is absolutely amazing. Like, that one helped me tons when it comes to brightening like the uneven patches and stuff like that. But I'm yet to see differences with the stretch marks. So if you're looking for advice on stretch marks, I got nothing for you guys. But I will hopefully let you know once they do lighten, and once like it gets back to normal, I'll make a video for you guys for sure. Okay, another person asked, did you suffer postpartum depression? If yes, can you explain how and why it happens? I would say I got like moments of like extreme sadness. There were days that I would just start crying. There were days that like I was so overwhelmed, emotional and everything, that because it was my first baby, I went back to living with my mom and my dad. My mom basically carried me through every single stage of the newborn phase. And to be honest with you, if it wasn't because of her, I would have definitely suffered postpartum depression. The newborn phase is rough. For me, I was barely getting any sleep. I wasn't eating a lot. I was really bummed out as well about the whole like not breastfeeding thing. My body looked different, and like things I enjoyed doing, I couldn't really do them at that time. So when those thoughts kind of came along, I would definitely get really emotional, but my mom was there to like lift me back up. Like when she saw that I was really tired, she would take baby, my dad would take baby, like they would really like support me, if that makes sense. But I can imagine if I was doing this all alone, it would definitely contribute to postpartum depression for me. So to answer your question about how it happens, what's happening is after you give birth, you have so much hormones in your body, and then on top of that, you've got a newborn, and the newborn needs you. The newborn only knows you and needs you as the mother. So because of that, you might find it hard to sleep, shower, eat and stuff like that. So those things that you found easy to do before have all of a sudden become a lot harder to do. And I think it's that transition that we find hard to cope with that contributes to it. I feel like stress is the #1 contributor to postpartum depression, because when you have a baby, the focus is on the baby, and I feel like the mom can sometimes be neglected in terms of like, you're still healing, you're still trying to get back on your feet. And I feel like a lot of people don't acknowledge that, like, wow, you know, she still needs help. She needs someone to pick her up. She's going through all these hormones, these body changes, a lot of stress, of sadness. It's nice to have someone by your side to basically like pick you up and tell you like everything's gonna be okay. So I feel like if you don't have that, it can contribute to postpartum depression. Another person asked, how did you manage your weight gain? If I didn't, I gained weight, and I wouldn't say that I gained a lot of weight, but I wasn't managing my weight. I wasn't eating healthier, I didn't change anything, but maybe like in my first trimester I did lose weight because I wasn't eating. I wanted cereal. That's literally right at morning, lunch, and nighttime. I was having cereal. And because of that, I think I lost a lot of weight in my first trimester. And then my second trimester, it was basically getting back to my normal weight. And then my third trimester was gaining weight, but then it wasn't that much weight because I was just basically playing like catch up. I'm going gym now and I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier. So hopefully I do lose the weight quickly and I can kind of show you guys the workout routine that I'm doing and like the diet and stuff. Another question that I got that I forgot to write down but I remembered it is did the pregnancy cravings go away once I had given birth? And like that's actually a very interesting question. To be honest with you, yes, they left my body as soon as I delivered. In fact, after I had given birth, I didn't have appetite. My mom was literally feeding me because I wasn't trying to eat nothing. So I would say that the pregnancy cravings actually went away from me pretty quickly. Someone asked me, does it hurt? And I feel like this person is talking about pushing out the baby. I cannot speak on that obviously because I had a C-section, but the C-section itself, like I was saying before, it didn't hurt. Like the process, because you are numb down, it's not supposed to hurt. If it hurts, that they're doing it wrong. So the C-section itself didn't hurt, but the recovery was really bad. Like it was so painful and I didn't enjoy the recovery period at all. Someone also asked, did you have a hospital birth? And yes, I did. I gave birth in the hospital. I feel like if I gave birth at home, I probably would have freaked out. I just like knowing that there's doctors around me and like machines around me, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's closed-minded of me, but I had a hospital birth and that's probably something that I would love to just stick to if I have any more pregnancies. Yes, I had a hospital birth. So those are the questions that I got on Instagram and here on YouTube. So if you are a new mom and you're currently struggling or whatever stage you are in motherhood, just know that it definitely does get better. And like, just know that like ups and downs are normal, because that's something I wish I could have told myself when I first recently just given birth. Like ups and downs are normal, because when I had my downs, I was like, why is it only me? Why is everyone else on TikTok doing great and thriving? And guys, social media is fake. It's perfectly normal to have those days where you are just, you know, struggling. Like I still have those days now where I really struggle, and I've just told myself that it is normal, it's a journey, it's not a race, and like just enjoy every single moment. And if you worry so much, you end up missing all the precious moments. So that's kind of like how I'm getting through motherhood. If you guys have any other questions, I could do a part 2 for you guys if anyone is interested in anything else. I feel like most of these questions were about my pregnancy, but like motherhood itself, if you guys want any tips, let me know. I can make a part 2, I can make it a series. It's completely up to you guys. Let me know what you guys want to see. But for today's video, that's basically it. That has been my pregnancy journey, my motherhood journey, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate every single one of you, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye.